He's barking his head off, and the noise of his bark is almost as loud as the rumble of the earth, and even though I am in mid-air, I can feel everything shaking. The green fields are coming towards me super fast now, and I brace myself. I take a deep breath and prepare for the fact that I'm about to crash land headfirst into the ground. And then, with a jolt and a heave, I wake up. I'm surrounded by pitch black. Something heavy is crushing my ribs and pinning me down, and beneath me the ground is bucking and rumbling with a noise like a train. It feels so raw and so close this time in the darkness, lying here on the ground in a pup tent, with nothing between me and the rolling, turbulent earth. It was different in the first quake 2 days ago. I was asleep that time too, and the quake threw me clean out of bed. I remember grabbing my backpack and me and Jock running for our lives as the house collapsed and feeling the cold jolt of realization that Mum wasn't with us. Then turning back and seeing her lying on the lawn, not moving. That was the quake that destroyed Parnassus and started all of this. The evacuation and my mum being taken away in the rescue helicopter, the others taking the inland road to meet the rescue ship at Kaikoura. They all wanted me to go with them, but I couldn't. I had to make my own way. I chant the names in my head: Parnassus, Hawkswood, Fernyhurst, Hunderley, the Stag and Spey, Kaikoura. This is our journey. Me and Gus and Moxy and Jock. Jock? The heavy weight that's been squashing my ribs gives a whimper and I realise it's him on top of me. As he struggles to stand up, he shoves his paws deep into the soft bit of my stomach. I give a squeal as his claws dig into my flesh, but before I can push him off me, the ground gives another hard buck that throws both of us flat. The impact leaves me winded and I can't get any breath into my lungs. I begin to hyperventilate and it's like I'm going to die from not breathing, and the more I think about dying, the more I can't breathe and I begin to make these choking, gasping cries. You want to know where I am right now on a scale of 1 to 10, Willard? I am 1,000,000. And then the ground stops. I lie there, panting like a dog and shaking. My heart is hammering in my chest, and I still can't get any air into my lungs. I'm gulping, trying to make my breath work again, and then my hot skin goes goosebumpy as I feel something cold and hard against my thigh. Torch. I grab for it, and as soon as I have it in my hand, I flick the switch and suddenly the tiny black space of my pup tent is illuminated. The first thing I see is Jock's eyes shining back at me in the light, and I nearly scream at the sight of him because he looks deranged, all wild and wolfish with his hackles raised. He gives this low, panic-stricken growl, and at the same time another sound choruses in, an awful howling noise like a baby bawling. It's Moxy. She must still be in here somewhere. But even with the torchlight on, I can't find her. Moxy. I begin to burrow through the bunched-up folds of sleeping bag. Moxy? Moxy has worked herself headfirst into the bottom of my sleeping bag. I worry that she's dug herself in so deep she's going to suffocate. But when I try to pick her up, she hisses and lashes out with a paw, swiping viciously at me. I take her seriously since I still have scars on my arm from the last time. I leave her alone and unzip the tent and squirm out of the flat with Jock behind me and then zip Moxy in. I don't want her to escape and get lost. Outside the tent, the night is totally black. There's not a flicker of light, no houses for miles in any direction. Parnassus is not exactly bright city lights, but the hills of Hawkswood are really remote. This is the middle of nowhere, and it's just me and my cat and my dog. And somewhere, out there in the dense black nothing that surrounds us now, is my horse. When the big earthquake, the 7.8, shook me out of bed in Parnassus, there was a full moon to see by. Tonight the moon is clouded, the stars seem faint and distant, and the beam of my torch is gutless, so I can't see more than a couple of meters in any direction. For all I know, the earthquake might have destroyed the land all around me. Maybe everything has slid away, and right now I'm perched on a cliff edge. I shine the torch beam as far as it can go and stand rooted to the spot. I turn slowly round, trying to find the tree that I tethered Gus to before I went to bed. Gus? No answer. I keep circling with my torch beam and then I see the tree. The torch beam wobbles as I search for him. Gus! My heart sinks. There's the branch where I tied his rope off, and the rope too, but I can't see him. My eyes blur with hot tears. I'm having trouble breathing again. The rope is frayed at the end where he strained and broke free. I feel bad when I think about how terrified he must have been to destroy the rope, but of course he was afraid.